Let's go. It's running. It's breaking in right now. Let's go. Today is finally the day that we are going to start and break in the second gen. We got into Missouri kind of late last night and stayed up and knocked a few things out. Like got our fan and fan shroud in, knocked out a few more wiring things, and that's really all we did. But we have a whole assortment of items we need to knock out right away. As you see, I have a bunch of AN goodies. We're going to replace the OEM heater core rubber hoses with these AN lines. It's kind of an extra project that I wanted to squeeze in, so we're going to wrap that up real quick. And then obviously all my stuff. And really the big item is I need to knock out this wiring, get all of this on the truck, and then she'll be ready to go pretty much. So I'm just going to get to cranking on this thing and update you guys with my progress. But first thing, we're going to knock out these AN lines. While Hurricane makes some cuts and stuff like that, I'm going to do some wiring. But today's the day that this thing is starting. We are pretty much ready to start cranking on this thing. Let me just show you guys our braided heater core hoses. They turned out awesome. I'm so happy with them. This is how it looks down by the oil filter. Turned out sweet. I end up running the line between the turbo and the oil feed for the turbo just to keep it away from the manifold, and it just turned out awesome. I left them a little long intentionally because I'm going to replace the push lock fittings that I got back there to the right size ones. So I let them a little bit long to give me room for that. And then it actually helps keep my coolant bypass line off of the manifold because these trucks don't have bracketry for the coolant bypass hose. But Hurricane and I just knocked this thing out today. We pretty much have all the wiring finished. It's definitely not as nice as I want it to be, but we've hit that point where it's just get it back on, get it going, and let's start this thing up. I am satisfied with up here. Everything's looking good up there. And then also all of our wiring's running up that way now. It's definitely not as clean and organized as I want it to be, but we can fix that down in Oklahoma City. It's no big deal. Let's just get this thing started and broken in and running so that we can get this thing down there and start getting more constant with it, because I really am excited to have this down in Oklahoma City. Current status right now, I just put all the oil in it and the zinc additive from Hamilton. Everything's going good. Hurricane just ran to O'Reilly's for me and picked up all of our coolant because we forgot to get that. So we have all the coolant for this thing. Gonna start filling that up. And then from there, it's just start cranking on it and build oil pressure. I need to hook up my manual oil pressure gauge right here. And then from there, we're pretty much ready. I've just double checked everything. Pretty sure everything is good to go. I seriously can't think of anything that can go wrong right now. Right now, we are priming the oil pump, which is just this little plug right there. Looks like this. You pull him out, and then you have this little spring and plunger assembly you pull out as well. And you just pour a little oil down there to prime the oil pump. Hamilton recommends doing that before starting it. All right, oil pump is primed. Hurricane's finishing up tightening the bolt. We have our oil pressure line hooked up as well. Still got to put the gauge on. And then we're pretty much ready to go. Just got to put some coolant in it and push it outside so we don't make a mess in Hurricane's garage. We got the truck pushed back and the door open, so that means it's time to start cranking on this thing. We have the VP44 unplugged. You can't see it back there, but trust me, it's unplugged. So that we can crank on the starter and build oil pressure. I'm gonna have Hurricane hold the gauge, and he's gonna tell me when it builds oil pressure. Okay, we just double checked everything. Hurricane's got the gauge. Just tell me if it builds pressure. If it doesn't build pressure, just tell me it did. We're gonna watch that. Hopefully, no leaks. We just fought a coolant leak, power steering leak, and a fuel leak. So we should be good on leaks. Everything's good. Let's start cranking. It feels so good to be in this seat. Ready? It's gonna take a while. It takes a little bit. We're just gonna crank like 10 seconds at a time so I don't drain the battery or overheat it. All right, this is the third time cranking it for about 10 seconds. Hopefully, third time's a charm.
got 10.
How much did it get? 10. Let's go. 25? Dang. She's locked in.
25. I got up around 23, 24.
Okay, we have bill oil pressure. VP44 is plugged in. Hurricane's gonna be on line duty. Let's start this thing. I do have my cam braking tool ready to rock. Hurricane's still on fuel line duty. Battery's starting to sound just a little weak. Hopefully she has enough juice in her. All right, so the first start did not go very well. It was popping like crazy out of the exhaust, so I shut it down. I only ran for like 10 seconds. And I had an engine light, so I ran the codes. I just cleared them, but I had a light for no communication with the VP44. And it's probably because I was cranking on it with it unplugged. So hopefully that takes care of it. But we have no engine light on now. Let's try this again. And hopefully we have a smoother startup. Fingers crossed, boys. Didn't like it. Okay, second startup did not go very well either. Engine light came right back on and started popping out the exhaust again. Ran the codes. We have a camshaft position sensor code, so I'm going to check that out. We also had that code on the first startup, so I'm going to check out that real quick. Hopefully all's good. I'll let you guys know. Well, boys, we have good news. Some idiot just didn't plug in the freaking camshaft position sensor. You can kind of see it hanging out right there. So, ironically, we had an extra plug laying around that I thought went to the stinking windshield wiper fluid tank, you know, the little sprayer. Turns out it goes to the camshaft position sensor, so get that guy plugged in. Hopefully no more pops out the exhaust. So evidently this is the camshaft position sensor plug. The washer fluid plug is down yonder, right there. So that is a new one, you know. Obviously the one coming out of the main ECM harness probably goes to the camshaft position sensor. Camshaft sensor is plugged in. Let's try this again. All right. Let's go. It's running. It's breaking in right now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, boys. She's officially broken and running. It sounds so good. Literally can't think of anything can go wrong now besides another sensor being unplugged. But now we're going to climb under there, drain this oil out, get the fresh oil in, and then probably start it again. And I gotta do a spool up test with this new camshaft. I cannot wait to burn myself on this hot oil. Man, nothing makes me feel more American than breaking in an engine and a 2-stroke lawnmower. I mean, come on. I'm gonna get this drained out and show you guys my burn marks when I'm done. There is so much oil and coolant under this thing from us chasing down leaks. So we need to clean this thing really good and then check for leaks next time we start it. I do not own a oil filter cutting tool, so we're just gonna pour it out and see what we got. See if we got any craziness. It's like some little paint particles. Yeah, honestly, it looks good. Looks like used oil. Fresh fill tray going on. We are going to be switching up oil brands. We used to run this Valvoline Premium Blue, no complaints, but we're just switching to the Rotella T6, and we're going to put some of this FR3 friction reducer in there and see how that goes. No complaints with the Valvoline. I just wanted to change it up. We're gonna try this Rotella T6. Drop a comment down below what oil you guys run. Man, this stuff guaranteed to increase horsepower up to 5% and fuel economy up to 5%. Might as well put the whole bottle in there. Maybe take a shot myself. I could use 5% more horsepower. All right, breaking oils out of it, fresh fill tray, fresh oil change. Let's start this thing up again, see how it sounds. Moment of truth, boys. Let's hope she sounds good. Sounding good. I just noticed that our fuel pressure gauge is not working, or EGT. I don't think I know why the fuel pressure gauge is not working. I don't know why the EGT gauge isn't working, but we got trans temp, so that's cool. But she's sounding good. Sounds smooth. I like it. I missed that sound. It's been way too long. Hey, Hurricane. Hey, give me some revs. Give me some revs. Notice it has a little bit of fuel pop that I gotta figure out, but listen to this. As far as out here, not hearing anything alarming. No taps, no nothing. Everything's looking good. I think we need to run the valves. They're kind of a little clattery in the middle. All right, that's a wrap. As you can see, we are not doing a spool up test because this thing's got a little fuel pop, like injector pop, as soon as you start giving it fuel. So I need to figure that out. It wasn't doing it during the break-in. At least I didn't notice it. It's very minor. You can hear it in the video. It's only if you give it like a lot of fuel right off of idle, it pops. So I need to dig into that. Let me know what you guys think about that. But overall, huge success. There's no leaks anywhere that I can see. We'll see how long that lasts. But everything is looking good. Really, there's no major issues besides that minor fuel pop, which I need to look at the lift pump pressure, see what it's at when it does it, and go from there. And then it might be an injector issue. I don't think there's anything wrong with my VP44. I think it's good, but it's probably like, I don't know, need to do some research and get that one figured out. But overall, huge success. I'm about to spend the next 2 hours of my life cleaning up Dad's shop, and the next time you see the truck, we'll be driving it to Oklahoma City. We still got to put the bumper on, wrap up the cowl. I mean, there's still lots to do still. We need to get some better wheels and tires because these aren't going to cut it. Next time I'm down here, I am going to double check all the connector tubes and the injector hold downs. I'm thinking one of the lines or the connector tubes might be loose, not sealing properly. Hopefully that's what it is, but we're going to dig into it next time I'm down here because it's late and we got a shop to clean up. All right, we couldn't end the night without digging into this thing, trying to figure something out. So I reached out to my buddy Mason. He recommended I check the valve lash, which I was going to anyway, but once he said that, definitely makes sense that the valves are out. The engine's still a little too warm to adjust some, so we'll probably tackle it in the morning or next time I'm down here. But definitely an issue in the valve train, so I think that's probably our issue, but I'll catch up with you in the morning because it's late and I'm gonna call it a night. Good morning, my friends. I'm out in the garage just getting cleaned up after last night, and I wanted to check the valve lash over. So I took my valve cover off, I took my feeler gauges, and I've been checking a lot of the valves. Obviously, it's set top dead center right now. And pretty much all of the exhaust ones so far are loose, and the intake ones are just a little loose, not crazy, which I was going to set the valves anyway. I just didn't make the connection that our problem was probably the valve lash being out. So hopefully that takes care of our issue and we don't go chasing a problem that doesn't exist. As you can see though, the second gen is not roadworthy, and we have a full checklist of items that I need to go through since starting up the engine anyway. So we're going to hold off on all this stuff until the next time I'm in Missouri, because I need to go on the road to Oklahoma City like right now. But guys, humongous video. I was really excited for this one, and it could not have gone really much better. We didn't have any major problems, just a bunch of minor stuff that's obviously gonna happen with a fresh engine rebuild. I was so relieved to just see that the camshaft sensor was just not plugged in, and that was our problem. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to all the videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this journey, but I'm so excited to have second gen back on the road and get down to Oklahoma City so we can make some more content with it. But with that, thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for the next one.